Hi, my name's Derek and I'm an advisor on Contact's free national helpline for families with disabled children. This podcast is about the Self-Employment Income Support Scheme. Under this scheme, self-employed people affected by the COVID outbreak can apply to HMRC for a grant that meets a percentage of your average monthly profits. And because this is a grant, you won't have to pay it back. Now, there have already been 3 grants made under this scheme already, covering between 80 and 70% of average profits. But there's going to be a 4th grant and then a 5th grant made available between now and the end of September 2021. And for the first time, these grants will be extended to people who started self-employment in the tax year 1920, who weren't previously able to access the first 3 grants. The 4th grant will cover the period from February to April 2021 and will cover an amount equivalent to 80% of your profits for this period. Applications for the grant are expected to be opened towards the end of April. You should be eligible for the 4th grant so long as you're a self-employed person who's still adversely impacted by the COVID outbreak, and you can get a grant even if you continue to have some income from self-employment. You don't need to show that you've got no work coming in at all. Now, this grant is paid as a lump sum, and while you're waiting for a grant, you may be able to claim additional state benefits, but this will depend on your individual circumstances, so get detailed advice. You're only eligible if your trading profits are no more than £50,000 a year, and you also need to be able to show that the majority of your income comes from self-employment and not from other sources. To apply under the scheme, you'll also need to show that you're currently self-employed and that you were trading in the tax years 1920 and 2021, and you must have filed a tax return for the year 1920 to be eligible. The amount of grant you'll get is based on your average profits over the last 4 years. The scheme only applies to sole traders and to partners in a business. It doesn't cover people whose only income is as an employee of their own company. Now, the government have said that there will be a 5th grant available from late July. At the time of recording, we don't have a lot of detail about the qualifying conditions for this 5th grant. But what we do know about it is that the amount of the 5th grant will vary depending on the impact that COVID is having on your business at that point. If your turnover has dropped by more than 30%, you will get a grant that covers 80% of your average profits. However, if your turnover has dropped but by less than 30%, then the grant will only cover 30% of your profits. Thanks for watching.